Number 6. The father of Irish archaeology. The portrait over the mantelpiece is of George Petrie, and if you've ever visited the National Museum in Kildare Street and admired the Tara brooch or the Ardagh chalice, or many of the other national treasures, then you've this man to thank, because George Petrie was responsible for collecting them. He didn't collect them for the National Museum, however, because that didn't exist until 1890. Instead, Petrie collected them for the Royal Irish Academy Museum, which was the forerunner of the National Museum. Just as the Academy had a library for its collection of books and manuscripts, it also had a museum for its collection of objects and artefacts and antiquities. And in fact, this reading room was originally built as the Academy's museum in 1852, although it's now used by the library. The glazed bookcases near the entrance door, they housed some of the museum exhibits, and the windows at ceiling level meant that the room could be lit from above without glare. Thanks to George Petrie's efforts, the Academy's museum acquired treasures like the Tara brooch and the Ardagh chalice and the Cross of Cong. One reason why the Academy moved to Dawson Street was because its collection had grown too big for its small premises in Grafton Street. And after the museum opened here in 1852, the catalogue was compiled by Oscar Wilde's father, the noted surgeon and antiquarian Sir William Wilde, who was an important member of the Academy then. The museum was here for nearly 40 years, and the public could come and visit on open days, but otherwise the access was restricted to Academy members and their friends. When the National Museum opened in Kildare Street in 1890, the Academy gave over its collection on a permanent loan. So next time you're there, if you look closely at the label on many of our national treasures, you'll see them recorded as being from the RIA collection. George Petrie was born in 1790. He was an artist and an archaeologist, an antiquarian and a scholar, and an important collector of traditional music. He was one of the scholars that Thomas Larkham employed in the Ordnance Survey. And as Petrie travelled around Ireland working for the survey, he was able to collect nearly 1,600 songs and tunes, which he later published. Petrie's other great legacy was an unusual one in printing design, because he designed the first typeface for Irish script. This was for a major Academy project in the 1840s to produce a printed edition of the Annals of the Four Masters. And this was a challenge because manuscripts in Irish use a distinctive form for many of the letters of the alphabet. Letters like A, D, F, G, R, S and T. It's a unique form of lettering. It was used for over 1,500 years, from the 6th century right through to the 1960s, when it was finally replaced by the conventional Roman alphabet we use now. If you're following the multimedia version of our tour, you can see an example of Petrie's typeface now. Then, next on our tour is the wonderful Academy meeting room. If the room is in use, you can take a seat in the library here and listen to the stories here.